All right, so it's that time of the year where I get super sappy on camera again to round out the year. Let's get into it. So this year has been a huge year in so many ways, not just Collingwood, not just Swoop, just my personal life as well. And before we sort of delve into that and my reflections on the year, I want to show you this piece of footage from my annual Sappy video from this time last year where I said this.
But even YouTube hitting 6,000 subscribers, I'd love to hit 10,000 by, and that'd be one of my resolutions. I'd love to hit 10,000 by the end of next year. How that happens, I don't know. But, you guys have made it legendary for me. And that's something that I am so appreciative of.
So that's nuts. If only past Luke would have known that we would have hit 10,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel this year. It has been an absolutely incredible achievement and one that I couldn't do without all of you guys subscribing or telling your family, telling your friends, telling your pets even. So I do really, really appreciate every single one of you for getting that final push. I said I wanted it before the end of the year, and we did it. And that's that first milestone done, and we got so many more milestones to go. But I'm taking the time to smell the roses, so thank you so much. I also said this.
I don't know if you guys know, this is not a full-time job for me. I've got a full-time job in the city, so this is just like a part-time side little hustle. So if that means taking time off from work to go to trainings, to do swooping around at trainings, pre-season trainings, or whatever that may be, I want to take this to the next level if I can. And
now, Swoop is full-time. I don't know how the hell I got here. Well, I do know how I got here. I do know that it was a huge leap. But again, this goes hand in hand with all you guys watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, via the Instagram post, whatever it may be, on Facebook as well. Every little bit helps, and to my members as well, that really, really does help me take this full time. It's a big thing to especially go to full time during the off season. What was I thinking? But sometimes you just got to jump into the deep end, and that's the best way to learn to swim. Don't do that at home, but that's metaphorically the best way to learn to swim. So thank you again for helping or letting me take this to a place where I can do this as my quote unquote job. And if you're watching this, I am looking for sponsors leading into 2025. So if you're watching this and you want to sponsor the channel, you want to get your business onto the channel, hit me up, email me, swoopluke@gmail.com. We'll work something out. That'll be incredible as well. That'll help me, it'll help you. That'll be absolutely the next space where this needs to go. That's my next goal, is to get a sponsor on board for 2025, and we just hit it absolutely hard. Now, let's get into the year that's been. It has been, like I said, or like I prefaced at the start of the video, it has been the biggest year of my life, personal life, Swoop life. We'll reflect on Collingwood first. And it wasn't a season that we wanted to have, especially after a premiership. We all had aspirations of going back-to-back. We know how hard it is to win a flag. We know how it's even harder to win back-to-back flags. Kudos to Brisbane, first and foremost, for getting that premiership, going back-to-back in grand finals, and then winning that premiership. So, shout out to them. That was absolutely incredible. Collingwood, we miss out by a percentage. We win one of the draws, we get through. We win one of the ones that we lose by a couple of points, we get through to the finals, and who knows what happens. But sometimes I feel like you need this sort of reset. Maybe they got too ahead of themselves. Who's to say, right? And there was a lot of injuries, I know that. But who's to say what the mentality sort of was like from the outside looking in? But this is going to make us hungrier than ever starting for next season. And I've already seen it during preseason in all my training videos. So if you're lacking football, go watch those training videos because you can see how hungry the boys are, and it's going to be a huge 2025. The feeling that I've got right now is the same feeling from 2022 leading into 2023. So take that how you will. I know how I'm going to take it. So it's going to be a really, really exciting 2025. Now, me personally, so, I've sort of touched on what happened this year. there's some things that I haven't touched on that I probably won't sort of mention on this sort of forum. I'm pretty open with everything, but some things, I sort of keep to myself. But, I've touched on breaking up with, my girlfriend and I breaking up. And so that happened at the start of the year. That coincided with selling my house and then moving back in with mum and dad for 6 months. And during that time of the breakup and moving in with mum and dad, I was in limbo. I went through, my own sort of demons, my own sort of bout of depression. That was probably my lowest ebb in my life. I've dealt with depression not quite some time. Sorry, I've dealt with depression multiple times, but nothing quite like this. And I was pretty good at masking it, especially on camera or swooping around or whatever that may be. So even to family and friends as well. So I was pretty good at masking it, but I was not in a very healthy spot, both physically and mentally. And I knew something had to change. And that's when I started seeing a psychologist again. And you know how big I am on mental health and how much I advocate for it. So I started seeing a psychologist again, and I was sort of reporting on that and how that was going. And she helped me so much. And I still see her once every month or so. But that had helped me, like, I don't know where I'd be if I wasn't going to see her. So that really helped. And, I was always going to the gym and stuff, but I was always eating more and getting my fitness and my diet in place. So I've lost 15 kilos since the start of the year. And that has also helped me. It's also cleared my head. It's also made me feel good about myself, because at one point I wasn't liking who I was seeing in the mirror. And it was sad, especially having to front up to camera and stuff. I was dreading it at times. But that really helps. So shout out to Pip, and I'll show you those results when we get those results in January. But and I'll do a post about Pip and what he's been able to help me with. So shout out there as well. So there was other things that I won't sort of touch on, but there was multiple times at the start towards the middle of the year where I had hit a crossroads. I didn't know where Swoop was going. I couldn't differentiate Swoop Luke from Luke, and I never wanted Swoop Luke to consume my every waking moment and to lose myself and just be this persona, this Collingwood persona, if you will. So I had to go through that as well and find out how I can sort of split that, and that was affecting my mental health as well. And there were times where I really wanted to quit. I wanted to quit Swoop Luke, and I wanted to sort of give it up because it just, at one point, it wasn't bringing me joy. It was bringing me more hassle than it was joy, and not hassle in the way of just like affecting my mental health. And there were multiple times where I was just ready to pack it in. But I pushed through, and then I started getting help, and I started getting treatment, and I started getting, fitter and feeling better about myself. And then I started finding myself again, and I started finding the love for Swoop Luke again. And this year has been a journey. I think this is, that's the big theme for me this year, has been, a journey. And I ebbed and flowed like a bloody roller coaster, like the tides going in and out of the ocean. I was at my lowest, I was at my highest, I was at my lowest, I was at my highest. But now I can confidently say I am the fittest, healthiest, and happiest I have ever been. But in saying that, there are still times where I get really sad. Over Christmas, I was really sad. Things leading up to Christmas, I was really sad. Everything changed for me this year. But I am in a very good spot mentally now. And with that, I can provide you better content, which is what I've always wanted to do, and what I felt like this year especially, I failed to do for most of the year. And I just want to spend 2025 absolutely redeeming myself for that. I've thrown away a lot of my preconceived notions of how I run this page, how I run my videos. So that's all gone out the window, and I can just have fun again. And that's what Swoop was always about, therapy and fun. And now I finally got it back. The one thing that has been amazing this year is friendships on the online community. Now, you guys know, Pommy, Saints, Blue, us doing that footy abroad every week, every Tuesday night. Something that I'm not used to doing. You're not really used to going live in that sort of forum. But that was really cool, and thank you for joining that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue into next season. So that's a little bit more of a fun format where we just sort of talk about everything on the weekend of football and our issues and stuff with the games and stuff. So that's been absolutely incredible. So I'm happy we did that. 2024 has been the rise of Collingwood YouTubers, which is amazing. It's just absolutely incredible. You got Anth over at Pies Footy, who's doing a great job bringing a fresh face, a fresh voice. His docos, that one about, Nick and stuff, Geordie, that's really inspired me to start. I've wanted to do long form documentaries for ages, and I just didn't have time. I just didn't have, the time to put the effort into it. And now that I'm doing Swoop full time, I'm doing more, and I've got one coming out for the grand final, and I've got a couple of ones coming out, little bits and pieces. It's going to be really interesting. So yeah, Pies Footy and doing an amazing job. The more voices we have, the merrier. Andreas from Black and White United, another one, another voice, another face. The more the merrier, right? We can't, Carlton have 1,000 YouTubers, and now Collingwood starting to get more, and it's good that we're diversifying, right? So it's not always just my voice, which I like because I hate the sound of my own voice. So amazing. The 2024 has been the rise of Collingwood YouTubers, which is absolutely incredible. And hopefully we see more in 2025, and it's going to be an absolutely exciting year, especially on the footy content front, and not just from me, from those guys that I just mentioned. Other AFL YouTubers, True Footy is back in Australia. Jesse's back in Australia, which is incredible. I met him over back when I was visiting Manchester. So 2025 is just going to be incredible. It's going to be the rise of the footy AFL YouTube world. I talked about all the low points of this year. I want to touch on some of my personal high points. So, selling my house, obviously, that's incredible. That's amazing. It's given me, the backing that, even though I'm not making a lot of the money that I need to make from YouTube and stuff like that, that's still giving me the backing where I'm going to pursue this more, and I've got those savings to sort of fall on if I need it, which is incredible. Moving back in with, I'm going to cry, moving back in with mum and dad for 6 months, they were absolutely incredible with after everything that sort of happened. They I hadn't lived with mum and dad for like 10 years. So moving back in with them was nice. So I just want to, I just want to thank them for everything that they did for me in those 6 months, and helping me, be the best version of myself, and always pushing me, and all those late night chats, and just helping me strive to be the best version of myself, and I couldn't do it without them, and without my brother either, and his now fiance Caitlin. So thank you guys all so much. Clearly family is so important to me. So yeah, I wouldn't be in this house or doing Swoop without them. I definitely would have given it up this year if I hadn't moved back in with mum and dad. So thank you to them. I love them all from the bottom of my heart. Okay, compose. Okay, I went to Europe, which was phenomenal. I quit my job, went to Europe for 6 weeks. And again, how I said it ebbed and flowed in Europe. I was the most depressed that I've ever been, traveling around the UK by myself, going solo traveling. That's crazy. The vlogs kind of showed you a little bit of it, but Europe, I was so depressed, especially at the start. I was questioning every single life decision I made to get me up to there. And then, you go to East Europe, then it starts kicking off, and I met some absolutely incredible people. I met someone absolutely incredible who's she's helped me as well, just making a connection where it's not like, oh, you do Swoop, what's going on? Let's sort of talk about that. Meeting someone who didn't know me from there, who's from another country, is incredible. So that's been amazing. She's been amazing to sort of help me sort of through that, and how I was talking about finding the different, trying to cut, is it compartmentalize? Is that the word I'm looking for? Trying to split Swoop, Luke, and Luke. She really helped me with that, and if that's, the only thing that is, that if that's a nice little lesson that I learned from her, incredible, because it's an amazing thing where I can now sort of split. I don't have to be on the go all the time. I don't have to be Swoop Luke all the time. And that's something that I have struggled with over the last couple of years. And now I've finally found Swoop Luke, and I finally found Luke. And yeah, thanks to her, and then thanks to Europe as well. But Europe was just absolutely incredible, just in general. Just really fun. Something that I've always wanted to do before I sort of, hit it hard next year, and with Swoop and stuff. And yeah, it's going to be. It was just. I'd love to go again. I'd love to go to other places. But yeah, Europe was just phenomenal, and it was definitely, obviously, one of the highlights of my. And then the final thing was moving into this house. So I haven't, for the past. So I own my house for 10 years. So for the past 10 years, I haven't lived alone. There was a period between the breakup and selling the house, which might have been 2 or 3 weeks that I lived alone, maybe 2 weeks. And now I've been in this house renting it for 2 weeks. So it's been crazy. At night times it gets very lonely, but my boys are here, the dogs are here, Clark and Lex are here. So they really help. And it's been an adjustment period, but one that I've absolutely loved. And again, wouldn't be here today without the help of my family, my friends, and you guys that like, comment, watch, subscribe, members. It's just all of you have made what I do possible, and I do not take that for granted. And finally, I just want to say just a big thank you to you watching this right now. I love you. I love you with all my heart. You are like family to me. So thank you for liking, for subscribing, for commenting, just for watching my videos. And I can promise you, now that I'm doing this, I say full time, it's still weird to sort of say that I'm a content creator. But anyway, now that I'm doing this, full time, and I've thrown my sort of really rigid video sort of views in my head out of the window, we're going to have so much fun next year. We're going to have so much fun. The training videos are just the start. You're going to see more training videos. You're going to see more content. And it's just going to be, some days it might be 2 videos a day. It might be a video every day, who knows? But it's going to be fun. I still do need your help though. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, still hit that subscribe button. I want to get to 15K by July next year. I want to do something crazy. I've got 40,000 or close. I've got 36,000 Instagram followers, which is another thing. So shout out to all those guys. Shout out to the close to 15K on Facebook. It's just been, there's so much love and there's so much support. But again, this has been such a long video, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for an incredible, incredible year. One day I'll share everything that sort of more maybe that happened this year. But for now, that was most of my story. So thank you. I love you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll see you later.